highly anticipated sequel, A Quiet Place Part 2, opened in theaters last week, raking in about $50 million between Friday and Sunday. It's the biggest box office debut since the start of the pandemic. The thriller about mysterious creatures that hunt by sound is expected to earn close to $60 million by the end of the holiday weekend. Actor Cillian Murphy joined the cast of the sequel as Emmett, an old friend of the Abbott family from the first Quiet Place movie. Take a look.
Did you ever think to come for us?
No. The people that are left, what they've become. You don't know, do you? I do. They're not the kind of people worth saving.
A scary good film. Cillian Murphy joins us now from Dublin, Ireland. Good morning, Cillian. Thanks so much for being with us. I love the first film. I love this one just as much. I know you were a big fan of the first film and actually wrote an email to John Krasinski that you didn't end up sending. But what did you say?
Well, I just said exactly that I love the movie so much. It was my favorite movie of 2018, I think it was. The first one came out.
Yeah.
And I just said congratulations. You know, I was a fan of his work beforehand. And I wrote congratulations, and then I just got too nervous and I never sent it.
How did you end up getting this part?
Well, at the same time, it seems that himself and Emily were watching Peaky Blinders at home at the same time, and he was writing the script and he thought of me for that role. So he reached out to me then about a year later.
Is it, I mean, one of the things that I know it's acting and you have to act under any circumstance, but in a lot of cases here, you're dealing with essentially CGI monsters who are terrifying on the screen, but you don't actually see them in person. How challenging is that?
Well, I guess that's our job really as actors, to use our imagination. That's what we do. And it was quite liberating in that there was no green screen ever. It was all, real locations, and it would be just John saying they're behind you or they're coming or look this way. It was pretty basic, really.
Cillian, I have to say, one of the most poignant moments in the movie was seeing you on that boat dock. And it was a reference to Millicent's character, and I don't want to give it away, but the fact that you had opened up and tried to get to know this character a little bit better earlier on, I'm curious, for Millicent, that experience working with her, who she is deaf, was it challenging, and how did it challenge you to move beyond?
I got to say, it was an education working with her. She's phenomenal, you know, an incredible performer, incredible presence, which I think is something that you can't learn as an actor. You just have it, and she has that. And we got on brilliantly throughout the shoot. And what I always see in young performers is this sort of instinct, you know, which as an older actor, you're always reaching for a pure instinct, and younger performers have it. And she just is really phenomenal. It's kind of her movie, really, I think.
It is her movie. I have to ask, is there going to be a sequel?
I believe so. I'm not the guy to ask.
Cillian, Jericka Duncan here, thank you again for joining us. What a transformation you've made to see you like this and see you in the movie. It's completely different. But one of the things that you brought up is that your performance in Peaky Blinders, is what sort of led you or connected you to The Quiet Place 2. We know that you'll be taping your final season, the 6th season. What can we expect? What can you tell us?
We just actually wrapped on Friday, so it's done now. I'm sure you guys are the same as me. I'm not into spoilers, and I'm kind of loath to give anything away. But it will conclude the TV series, and I think it will be very big themes we're exploring. And I think the word I've been using is gothic. I think it's quite gothic, the last season.
Cillian, you spent almost a decade working on Peaky Blinders. What was it like wrapping after all that?
It was emotional, for sure, for a variety of reasons. But, you know, it's been a big chunk of my life. And, I never expected to go on a journey with a character like this. And, it's a very, very big part of me. And the crew and the cast, we've become very, very close. So I don't think I've quite absorbed it all yet, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I imagine it takes a little time for it to set in, and obviously it hasn't come out yet, so you've still got to promote it, so it's still part of your life. But
yeah.
But I mean, having just watched the Friends anniversary and some of the film from when they all said goodbye, it gets very emotional because you become a family, as you say.
Yeah, for sure.
There was a Peaky Blinders moment that kind of peeled over into A Quiet Place 2. You want to tell us about that? It involves a bar and a bachelorette party.
And Emily Blunt.
Yeah, Emily saved me there. There tends to be, it's become this kind of phenomenon where people have Peaky Blinders weddings and Peaky Blinders, stag parties, and you guys call them bachelorette parties, we call them hen parties. So that stuff goes on, and I should definitely not be involved in any of those. So they whisked me away.
You would have been the star of the show. Cillian Murphy, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. It's a great film.